First, we pay homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Mi, the Master Sakya Zhengkong, to the 16th Dharma King Karmapa, and Master Dukden Tarji. Homage to the main deity of Homa, the Viskambi Bodhisattva. And homage to the three jewels of the altar. So, all Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma lecturers, Dharma assistants, temple directors, all disciples present here and over the webcast. May all be auspicious. Our guests of honors today, Dharma Sister Teresa and her husband, and Dr. Zhuang. And a Dharma assistant from Hevajra Temple from Auckland. It's a rare opportunity that you're here. Isn't there a ceremony there at the temple? I know she drove here, but isn't there a ceremony there at the Hevajra Temple? The Vijaya Temple? So she's not attending the ceremony there, and she came here instead, so she should be our guest of honor. And all the other guests of honors and our guest of honors over the webcast, how do you do? Selamat siang. That's good afternoon in Indonesian.
Selamat siang and domo, konnichiwa, and good afternoon. Đại công an, đại hữu.
All the greetings in various languages. Just now, if you take a picture toward this Homa fire, he appeared several times in the fire. Maybe you would be able to see the Viskambi Bodhisattva. He's inside the Homa fire. The name Viskambi, he is one of the 8 great bodhisattvas. Prior to reading the Hiking Kuan Yin Sutra, we would recite the 8 great bodhisattvas: Kuan Yin, Manjusri Bodhisattva, Samantabhadra Bodhisattva, Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva, Maitreya Bodhisattva, Akasagarbha Bodhisattva, Viskambi Bodhisattva, and Vajrapani Bodhisattva. So these are considered the 8 great bodhisattvas. At the time of the Buddha, they followed the Buddha, spreading Buddha Dharma. So they are considered as the 8 great bodhisattvas. And Viskambi is one of the 8 great bodhisattvas. He has great origin in the womb mandala, the Vajra realm, and the so in the Vajra realm, the deities there are considered the realm of the fruition. And then The Dharma womb realm is the realm of the cause. So Viskambi has a quarter in that womb mandala or realm. So the Viskambi quarter resided by the Viskambi Bodhisattva. This Bodhisattva has three faces. One is the one that we see today, the white Viskambi, and there is also the yellow Viskambi. Grandmaster is wearing yellow today. There's also the yellow Viskambi and also the blue Viskambi. There are three kinds, three colors of Viskambi. White Viskambi for purifications, yellow Viskambi for wealth, and the blue Viskambi for subjugation and subduing enemies. So there are three colors to Viskambi. So that meant that Viskambi has extremely great power. This Bodhisattva can subdue our afflictions, worries and troubles, and can eradicate the karma of all sentient beings. So the name Viskambi also means to eradicate obstructions. And his hands, this hand, the left hand, is holding a pole of a banner, the Dharma banner. So the writing in Chinese is like this. And on top of it there is a lotus blossom. And above, on top of the lotus, there is the light of the sun. So that's how he looks. He's wearing a 5 Buddha crown and he looks very beautiful and majestic. And his mudra, Viskambi mudra. Some of the mudras like this. This one, the fearless mudra, holding up. And the giving mudra. So there are two kinds of mudras. And most importantly for Viskambi is to eradicate afflictions and also to eliminate your own karma. He has appearance or outlook, and the sixth syllable is A, also has three colors, white, yellow, or blue. A. And the mudra it's like this. It may be hard for you to see clearly. The two thumbs are pressing on the bended the ring fingers and the pinkies are bended inward, touching each other. And the thumb are touching the ring fingers, and the index and middle fingers are upright and touching each other. So this is the mudra of Viskambi. From the side it looks like this, and from this side and the back side, that's the mudra. And his mantra, Lasa Laya Soha, Om Lasa Laya Soha, Om Lasa Laya Soha,
Om Nasaraya Soha, Om Nasaraya Soha， 就是这个，就是它的本身的心咒。
So that's the heart
那有
mantra.
咒语呀，有手印呐，
So
有
when
形象，
there is a mantra, a
就
mudra,
成为
and
构成
a
了三
look,
个要素。
that
啊，
these
密法修
3
持的三个要
ingredients
素，有观想，
comprise to a tantric
有手印，
practice for
有咒语。
visualization, mudra, and mantra.
那你如果要修行的话，
So
依
if you
照
want to
密法的
perform
修
the
行，
practice,
这
you
样
follow
子
the
就可以
tantric
做成
procedure,
一个仪轨，
and
就可以
this
修
can
行。
comprise a practice procedure or sadhana.
好，今天讲这个竹竿山菩萨的介绍啊，
So
就到此为止。
that's the introduction of Viskambi.
第23章，
And now we will continue
第
on
23章是明妃
Hevajra,
解释
chapter
及其
23.
他。
That's the consort's 9 postures and others.
其实你会问我啊，竹竿山的这个五官长得怎么
You
样？
can ask me,
他的五官到底长得怎么
how
样？
does his face, the Viskambi's
我告诉
face
你，
look?
跟所有的菩萨都很像。
He looks similar to all the bodhisattvas.
每一尊
All
七佛
bodhisattvas
世尊
look very similar.
或者是千百亿万佛，都是同一个面孔。
And the 7 Buddhas and all the myriad trillions of emanation of Buddhas look very similar. So when you visualize the face of a bodhisattva, then that would be right. Similar, that's hard to explain.
只是他手上拿的东西不同，手印不
Is
同，
it exactly the same? But
其他的形象跟菩萨是一样的。
arms are what they're holding are different, but the rest
讲
are
到
the
相
same.
像，有一个笑话啊，
Talking about
这个
similarity,
弟弟
there's
问
this
哥
joke.
哥啦，
The younger
弟弟
brother
讲，
asked the older brother,
哎，我们新来的这个娃娃啊，这个 baby，
hey,
跟
this
婆
new
婆的脸很
baby
相像。
looks very similar to grandma's face.
新出生的 baby，
A
跟
newborn
婆婆
baby
跟阿嬷的脸很像。
looks very similar to
这个哥
grandma's
哥就讲
face.
了，哪里会像？
And the older brother said, how could it be the same?
一个老成这个样子，一个刚出生
One
的
is so
baby
old
的脸
and one
会
is
跟婆婆
newborn.
这个弟弟就讲，
And the younger
因
brother
为他
said,
们都没有牙齿，
they both don't have any teeth,
所以很像。
that's why they look similar.
所以像跟不像很难讲。像
So it is hard to say whether they're
那
similar or
baby 的
not.
脸都是 baby 的，就很像。阿婆的脸
So
都是阿婆的，
babies are
阿公
babies,
的脸都是阿
and
公的。
grandma's face, grandma's face, or grandpa's face is
年轻
grandpa's
的小
face.
姐
There's a young
一眼
girl.
放弃，他们青春就是本钱。 刚刚莲池
They
上次讲
have
啊，这个我们有一个这个
just being young is they're on the advantage.
华光雷藏寺新皈依的小姐，
Like Master Lian Tzu said, that there's a new student that just took refuge that's young.
就是看到青春。
You know, whenever I took a look, I could see the youth.
每一个都是
Because
很漂亮。
Any youthful girls, they're all beautiful.
不敢看，
Doesn't
认
matter.
真地看。
I don't take a good look, just a short
转过头来，
gaze,
到底谁
just a short.
我也不认。总之，
I
只
wouldn't
看到
recognize
青春
them, but all I could see is the youthfulness.
啊，这个菩萨跟佛的相貌就是这样。
So the looks of Buddhas or Bodhisattvas are also the same.
这个像不能是这样子的。一个说话有浓重口音的老师，啊，以前我们在台湾读书的时候啊，老师的口音
There was a
都很
teacher
重
with heavy
因为老
accent.
师都是从内地来的。
When we were in school before in Taiwan, the teachers have heavy accent because they came from mainland
他
China
问一个学生啊，
and we were Taiwanese.
巫术啊，
So the students,
加灸等于多少？
so this is a play of Chinese words.
加灸等于多少？
So 50 plus 9, They thought for a long time and then they said, so martial art and wine, so that's become a drunken kung fu. This is a Chinese joke. Foreigners wouldn't be able to understand it. So when we were young, we heard the teachers with the mainland Chinese accents. Now let's continue on Hevajra, chapter 23. Consort's 9 postures and others. The 9 postures of a consort are dragon turning, tiger stepping, monkey beating, cicada attaching, turtle mounting, phoenix circling, rabbit sucking, fish and scales, and cranes twisting necks. These are the 9 postures of the body positions, and they should not be elucidated. This is something that should be taught by a real Vajra master. So let's say cranes twisting necks is with 2 cranes, and the necks are twisting each. So for tanka, some with dual bodies. So for the cranes twisting necks are the position for most tanka with dual bodies. Fish and scales, that's one on top, one at the bottom. And rabbit sucking, and the face facing the other side. And phoenix circling or flying. Cicada, like in the summertime, the sound of the cicada, the cries of cicada, it attached on the leaves. Monkey beating, that's like when the monkey is climbing the tree. And the tiger stepping and dragon turning. It's unspeakable. That's it. That's all for the explanation. Don't ask anymore. There are many postures, the 9 postures of a consort. Let me share a joke. There's a mosquito that went into the city and saw a girl. These days, the girl's outfit is something that I cannot see. And sometimes it's impossible to avoid. Why? Because they kneel down in front of you for the blessings. So when I touch her head and look down, wow. Now my practice for the day is gone with the wind. Because the girls this day bare their breast, the top of the breast. And so the mosquito was very pleased and landed on the breast of a girl, and then when he tried to suck the blood, it turned out to be silicone. So the mosquito said the food administration now is a problem. It's hard to find a real food these days. So it's interesting. So women these days, what happened? Because for me, I practiced for so long for push-ups and pulling on the bars and opening my chest like this, like the exercise at the Seattle temple at night. But oh no, doesn't matter how hard I train, I still can't compare to the girls because they have fake ones, but for men they cannot have fake ones. And it doesn't matter whether it's real or fake, they will not tell you. So just treat them as real. And Dongxuanzi of Taoism, there was a sect that's called the Zai sect and Chan sect. There are two different ones. In the Chan sect, according to the Taoist practice, it's almost the same as the pure body, speech and mind. Would teach you that you have the full and robust spirit energy and essence. And this is the practice of an individual in a single body to transform the essence into spirit and energy and energy into spirit. And there is this crossbreeding. So like what I said, so if you crossbreed watermelon and the rice, then the rice, a grain of rice would be as big as a watermelon. And then for each meal, you can only have a slice of rice and you would be full. There is no need to worry that we would have famine in the future. Just do this crossbreeding and experiment that with the rice plant, and you change it to big as a watermelon. It doesn't have to be that big. As big as a papaya is fine. No, maybe not that big. Maybe as a cherry moya. And then you place a grain of rice on a bowl, and then you eat a bowl and you will be full. Then all the food problem of the world will be resolved. So that's the crossbreeding. The small can become big, the plain or not sweet ones become sweet. Like cherry moya with pineapple taste. That's because they crossbreed pineapple with cherry moya. So if you eat the pineapple cherry moya, it's the same as eating pineapple. So in agriculture, they use a lot of this. So corn, a kernel of corn, you can make it as big as a melon. So a kernel of corn, maybe as big as that or as small as that, and you make it as big as a melon. Then by eating a kernel of corn, you would be full. And the pulled noodle, you know, the thin noodles that's being pulled from the dough like that. It would be as big as the steel rod of the Golden Gate Bridge. And there will always be enough food for everyone. So what are we afraid of? So that's the crossbreeding method of Taoism. So the dual body consort practice are this, it's like this crossbreeding. Why is the dual body slightly better than single body? Because you use the power of two people, the union of two. And the single body is the power of one person, you just rely on your own. And dual body, you use the power of two people. And the tip of the tongue, with touching the tip of the tongue, which I spoke of last night. And then the secret chakras, touching the secret chakra, they would become a circle. And the chi circulation would be the two chis circling. And in a single body, the chi is like one, so go up and down and up and down. And the dual body would be a circle, and the power is slightly greater. So this is the Zai sect of Taoism, and this is the Chan sect of Taoism. That's the example that I could give, the only example I could give. And Dong Xuanzi, who was Zhang Ding of the Tang Dynasty, explained 30 postures. And just read it, you wouldn't understand it clearly. Only a true Vajra master would know about the 9 postures of the consort. In Tantrayana, the Sakya sect, in the path and its fruit, there are 64 postures. And these are all the various postures and bodily positions, variations of the consort's 9 postures, more or less. So it is sufficient for a yogi and a yogini to understand the 9 postures. That's good, more than enough. And in the Hevajra Tantra, in that book, it mentioned about the requirements of a consort, and the requirements are very strict. Actually, there are very few who could perform it. For yogi, only very few and far in between. I'm not asking everyone to do this practice, unless you have complete comprehension and has received the highest yoga tantra empowerment from Grandmaster, and then the middle level, the upper level, and the highest level of pith instructions, step by step. If you receive the transmissions in completeness, but even then it is very difficult. That's why there are more that fall into hell than going to heaven. It is extremely, very, very, very dangerous, and you have to be extremely and very, very careful. So this is something for your knowledge. It's not like what's published in the Tribhuvan newspaper, that you can gain transcendental power and you can obtain great bliss forever, and everybody really want this. And then it also wrote that you can attain rainbow light body, and everybody rush toward it, and they all think that they are Guru Padmasambhava. Actually, Guru Padmasambhava only one. It's really not easy. There are many requirements. So anyone who practices this, either they're dead, or they're hurt, or they fell into Vajra hell. Other than Grandmaster, on earth there's only one person. Actually, the only Grandmaster, only one person is teaching or talking about this practice. This is just for your knowledge, so that you know that this practice exists It's not something that you can practice as you like. But this is not published in the Trubada newspaper. The Trubada newspaper only said that this is a good thing, it would give you transcendental power, it would let you attain rainbow light body. Actually, there are very, very few who attain rainbow light accomplishment. Only Guru Padmasambhava, Milarepa, Marpa, they have attainments. So because they have attainments, they did this practice too. But since the ancient time, there are only very few and far in between. So you have to publish this too, that almost all of them fall into hell, Vajra hell. You have to be very careful. Even if you're not dead doing it, you would be severely harmed. So you shouldn't use such a great headlines for the newspaper to mislead people. And you have to be lawful, the laws of the countries, and you have to comply with the tantric procedures and empowerments and myth instructions and the methods. And this is something that you have to obtain from the Guru. You cannot do it like as you like. You would fall into the Vajra hell. Then I would also commit a serious crime. That's why last night I said, Trubada newspaper, please save me. Please don't publish such a headline. I'm scared reading that, because this practice is very severe. It's very, very strict. This should be unspeakable, but I speak of it to let you know, just to increase your knowledge. There are many requirements for this practice. It has to be given by Grandmaster. The highest yoga, tantra, empowerments has to be bestowed by Grandmaster. And Grandmaster received the highest yoga, tantra empowerments from Master Tupten Dorji and Master Sakya Zengkong. There's this joke. They went shopping with the wife. Not bad. What did you buy? She bought shoes, skirts, jewelries, perfumes, and many things. And this person said, lots. And how about the husband? Did he buy anything? Yeah. What did you buy? I bought the bills. So in Chinese, it's like you bought the bills. You pay for the bills. So once you have all this knowledge of it, Grandmaster has to pay the bills. What that means is Grandmaster has to approve that you have the qualifications to do this practice. Only then you can do the practice. Without this approval, it's disallowed. That's anyone, the masters, monks, nuns, ladies, the Dharma masters, the reference, anyone. Have they done this practice? A lot of them have. But actually, they did not have the approval of Grandmaster. Even if they don't die, they would be severely hurt or harmed, and they would fall into the Vajra hell. They will fall into Vajra hell. In the Hevajra Tantra, it mentioned the requirements of a consort. It includes the voice. Her voice is very pleasing. The voice is very beautiful. There's only one person is qualified. Reverend Ming Yi, her voice is very pleasing. When she sings Japanese songs, are very beautiful, but she can only be heard. Her voice is pleasing. And her eyes are beautiful, very beautiful. Beautiful eyes. The eyes represent wisdom. And the girl's eyes have to be beautiful and has to be affectionate and can electrify. Beautiful eyes and can electrify. And the voice is beautiful. And the body, her body, of course, 38, 24, 38. And the most importantly is the body odor. The fragrance of the body is sweet smelling and fragrant. So the body odor is sweet smelling and fragrant, etc. Those are the requirements. Only the young can fulfill these requirements, not the old one. The eyebrows are delicate, the eyes are tender, the lips are red. It's not red from the lipstick. The lips are naturally red, like cherries. So small lips and red, very red. So red lips and white teeth. The teeth are very white. Not like Reverend Hua. Where is she? So show your teeth to everyone. That's the teeth, protruding teeth. And because she's rather elderly, and because the gums receding, so teeth has to be white. That's key requirement. So you can whiten the teeth, right, Dr. Chuang? Just go to Dr. Chuang and whiten your teeth. And he would charge less. These are the requirements. The age, in the old Tibetans, she should be 16. But now, in this world, that's illegal. Now, 18 and above. She should look good. And when you take a look at her, it's very pleasing. It shouldn't be like if you see someone from afar, looks like a flower, but from close up, oh my God, then that's not good. So 18 and above, and big eyes, young and pretty. And the Hevajra Tantra also said it cannot be too tall, like a bamboo, and cannot be too short, or like the short and round. Nope. This is according to the Tibetan, not too black nor white, which means not too dark nor pale skin. And she exudes the fragrance of a lotus. Lotus blossom fragrance or sandalwood. So naturally, she exudes the fragrance of a lotus blossom. And only the young girls have this, because the young girls has full hormones. It's like a blossom in fall, a flower in full blossom. So naturally, she exudes nice fragrance. When you get old, so what is exuded, the smell is from whatever that you ate. Because you have been eating for many years, then it would exude an elderly smell. I'm not trying to offend the elderly. I'm a senior. I'm also an elderly. But the consort exudes the fragrance of a lotus blossom and sandalwood. Of course, only a youthful girl has this fragrance. You know, when the elderly is carrying a young kid, you know, you have a bad mouth odor and all the dandruffs, and your nose, your ears all smell bad, and your armpit has that bad body odor. So anything that's exuded from the skin smells really bad. So the baby or the kid, if you carry them, they would turn the face away because the smell is so bad. Of course, that would be unqualified. Such a person would be unqualified. And you would like each other's fragrance. You like her fragrance and she likes your odor. At least you need to clean your teeth, because when the tongue touched the tongue, it would form a circle and the qi would circulate like this. The yogi would move the qi from the tongue and then through the central channel and then secret chakra and then up the central channel to the tongue again. As long as the man is a yogi, the woman would receive the qi. So the qi of two people. So tongue with tongue. But if you avoid it, why? Because of the bad mouth odor. Oh no. Oh my gosh. How dare he? He would pinch his nose. That's quite appalling. So if you know that you have some odor from your mouth, go find Dr. Zhuang, the dentist Zhuang. You have to fix, you have to clean your teeth with the floss and massage your gum so that the gum doesn't recede. And you have to clean all the food debris, all the debris from the teeth. And you have to have good stomachs and intestines, because sometimes if you burp, and that qi, that odor would make you faint. So who dares to do this practice with you? That person would die from it. So the breath that she exhales would be pleasing, and the bodily odor is like musk, and she's pleasant to be with. Oh, this is so hard to say. There is a master who made a report of his Dharma propagation and across the table. And when he was speaking, and I went, oh my gosh. I didn't want to offend him with the mouth odor because that would be, he would feel bad. So I asked him, have you cleaned your teeth recently? And he said, yes. Do you have cavities? Or you lose some teeth? Or some problems with your teeth? And he said, oh, I have great teeth. How about your digestive system? Is that good? And he said, good. Oh, when I heard that, oh no, I couldn't hint him. So to be with him is very appalling, quite disgusting. Look, these beautiful flowers. And as soon as he speaks, the flowers would wilt. Oh God, help me. The flowers are crying out. Each of this lotus blossom would say, oh, please help me. They almost died of the odor. How could he perform this dual body practice? And her speech is also pleasant. And the dialogue is very joyous, very happy. And she would let you feel very happy. Whatever she says would make you happy. So, according to Master Sakya Tsung Kung, a consort also needs to be trained. You have to train a consort, your consort. There's a wife who's very angry. She likes to get angry. And when she gets angry, she would throw things, whatever it is. So she let out her rage to those things. And then another person said, oh, my wife is different. She treasures her stuff. She just likes to clean things. So she just let out her chi toward her face. It's not a funny joke. Some people, when they get angry, they would throw things. And then, oh no, this is the image of a bodhisattva. So sometimes when they get really enraged, they would throw even Buddha's or bodhisattva's image. That's not good. So she needs to be trained. A consort should repent all her karma from previous lives. And she should be taught to abide by the 5 precepts. The precepts, the basic precepts of not to kill, not to steal, not to have sexual misconduct, not to lie, or to discord, create discord, and not to drink intoxicants. So, and to perform the 10 good deeds, to let go of the animals to be killed, not to steal becomes to give. The 10 good deeds, it would include the 6 perfections or 6 paramitas, and no greed, no anger, no hatred, and no foolishness or no delusion, no arrogance. So she should perform the 10 good deeds. She should be taught Buddha Dharma concepts and acquaint her with the basic sutras. and she should know the basic sutras. She should understand and know this few basic sutras. She should know the concepts. And a consort should attain spiritual response with her yidam and spiritual response with her Rudguru and with all the preliminary practices. And she should also recognize the middle way or the Madhyamaka. And at the end, she should also recognize the empty nature. Only then she could start practicing Hevajra. So look how strict the requirements are. It's very difficult to fulfill them. So these requirements are about the same as this. In the Wusan in Hangzhou, there was a person who likes to use alternative treatments, and someone bought three tips and tricks. One is how to become rich, how to not get drunk when drinking alcohol, and third is how to stop all the fleas and lice on the body. So he spent 300 coins to buy these three recipes. And the seller said, these recipes are very effective, but please don't give it to others. The first one, how to become rich. First is to be frugal, economical. The second, how not to get drunk when drinking alcohol. The answer is don't drink. And third, how do you get rid of the fleas? And the answer is to catch them all the best you can. So these three actually doesn't look like big deal, but actually they're very precious. It's the same as the requirements for the consort in Tantrayana. To be a consort, you have to gain spiritual response with the yidam, with the Rudguru, with the preliminary practices, and you have to comprehend the middle way and the empty nature. Only then you could start. So these requirements alone are very difficult. Do you have spiritual response with your Rudguru, with your yidam, with the 4 preliminary practices? Do you hold the middle way? Do you comprehend the empty nature? So when you recognize the empty nature, it's the same as half enlightenment. These are the requirements. They're very strict. It's the same as that secret recipes. How do you not get drunk when you drink alcohol? Then don't drink it. Well, because you don't drink the alcohol, of course you will not get drunk. So the requirements are very strict. If you want to get very rich, then you have to be economical. So the Orientals are more economical. They like to save. Japanese and Asians like to save. But Westerners, they spend what they have. So they spend more than they have. They spend what they will earn in the future because they like to have fun. They don't know how to save. But Asians, they know how to save. And look at the Vietnamese refugees. They have the houses on their own, and the Westerners, they still rent or they're on mortgage. So even the refugees can own their own homes because they are very frugal. Because when they arrived here, they didn't have anything, but they could own homes now because they know how to save. So you have to be very diligent until you attain spiritual response in your Yidam, Rudguru, and the preliminary practices, all the preliminary practices. And you have to comprehend the middle way and the empty nature. Only then you could start practicing Hevajra. The requirements are very strict. So that's all for today.